Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our Narrow Road podcast, where I, Amanda Williams, your host, and Avery Williams, your co-host, are living out a countercultural life, and we're inviting you to join us. We're so glad you're here.
Hey, we're back. And I mean we, as in Avery and I. Welcome back, Avery.
Hello there.
Okay, so catch everybody up on your wrestling season. What are we doing now?
Wrestling season went conference, another tournament, got influenza, had 1 day of practice, went to regionals, got beat up at regionals, and now I am sitting watching all of my 3 teammates at state who are all going to place at least in the top 8, which is going to be really, really sick.
So good. So good. Yes. Wasn't your year, but hey.
Has it ever been my year? I was talking with a teammate about this. We were talking about my 3 regional experiences.
Yeah.
The first time was my first year, and it was huge. Sorry, excuse me.
You didn't know what you were doing?
Absolutely massive tournaments. There were 20 people in my bracket. My second year, I broke my collarbone. In my third year, I had influenza.
Yeah.
Was it ever supposed to be my year?
I don't know. All I know is you worked so hard and you were so close. But we are just relishing in the fact that you just had your college signing.
Yes.
So your career continues leveling for the next 4 to 5 years, depending.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because you could have 5 years of eligibility. Is that right?
Yeah, I could redshirt my freshman year, so, the act of redshirting means you can't compete in any duels.
Oh, okay.
With the fact that our team is so small, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for me to redshirt.
Okay, so then you would just have 4 years.
Yep, but I am fine with that, because I also don't think I need 5 years in college.
And you don't need your knees busted up and things. You're already feeling like
Yeah.
you're 80 years old, creaking
Yeah.
around.
Okay, we have a funny story to segue into this first funny thing. So, my father gifted my mom all the podcast things. All of the things.
Yes.
From social media accounts to the equipment. It was the Christmas present. The thing is that he did not write down any of the passwords or information or the how-to things. So, on a separate note, my brother and I want to go to one last concert before I leave for college. So we found one in Colorado, a mutual artist that we both love, Zach Bryan. So we were debating flying out there, driving out there. So I thought I'd just sit down and do the math of how many gallons of gas I would need in my car.
And I'm across the table, working on my notes and research, obviously, for this podcast.
And Dad says that we need this link. We gotta have this link.
For the podcast.
For the podcast. So, he's the only one who knows the link. So I say, Dad, why don't you get the link? I'm gonna do this math. Well, no, now we're on, he has a site.
ADD.
Now we're on, wait, well, you don't have to do that math. There's a site, and all you have to do is put in the make and model of your car and where you're going, and it'll tell you how many gallons of gas you'll need and where you need to fill up. Yes. All the things.
Hey, we could have recommended that.
And then we got on to all the passwords to all of the social media accounts. And so finally, I go, now the link. Let's get the link. And the entire time I've been trying to go, my ADHD is bad enough without trying to direct your ADHD. Let's get the link. Let's get the link. What link? And we're okay, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes now, waiting for you to get the link.
And we just want to start our podcast.
And then he goes, so do you guys need to get out of here or something to start recording? And we're like,
need you
to get out. Leave us.
Oh, but in all seriousness, he has done so much work, and this is the most lovely gift. And I'm so grateful. I get so excited every time we get to record. And we are excited to tell you this is another What We Recommend podcast. This podcast is blowing up. We have gotten the most hits on this one. You all loved it, and you wanted more. So we are going to give you what you want. We decided we're going to do one of these once a month.
Yes.
So this is our February version of the recommendations.
Sounds like a plan. Do we want to go maybe by category?
I don't care. I don't know if we had the same category.
Well, we can just do our own categories and we'll bounce back and forth. That way, it's easier for people to keep track of everything.
Okay, now, guys, don't forget your notes. We got so many messages, private messages saying, what did you say about this? What YouTube channel was that? Blah, blah. And I was so impressed with you all that you even remembered what we said because it was a hot mess express. So feel free to write it down, and you will put some things in the show notes.
Yes, eventually. A complete compiled list of the Amazon list and all the other things will be coming, as well as also, I believe I will put together a Google Drive with links to the things that are not on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
It will just take me a hot second to get it all compiled.
Okay. No problem. Okay, so you go first.
Okay, so my first category is clothing. Because, I am a teenage girl, and clothes are so important. I'm usually, get your best bang for your buck type of person. I will go cheap as far as my clothing goes. But on these two things, I really splurge on. Okay, context of how cheap I am. My grandparents got me a $100 Shields gift card for Christmas. Very generous gift. So we go the day after Christmas because we know, of course, that's when all the best sales are.
Yeah, it was the day after Christmas. I was thinking it was Black Friday.
And so I go and I wander my way into the little boys section. And I find boys extra large sweatsuits that they're neutral colors and nobody could tell that they're boys' clothing.
No.
And they're $9 a piece.
The whole outfit.
Well, a piece.
Okay.
They were $9 a piece, and
so
you better
$18 for the outfit. Still
less than $20.
Yep.
And you better believe I picked myself up 4 of those outfits. And I'm rocking one right now. So,
great.
My recommendations, these are splurges for me, but I would definitely say that they're worth it. So the first one is Whole Strength Apparel. They're kind of similar to 3 Nails, but they have a lot more on the women's side and a lot more athletic wear on the women's side. I have a pair of their shorts. I love their sports bras as either sports bras, or you could wear them as tops. They're long enough that you definitely could get away with doing that. I also have a backpack by them that I absolutely love, and it is huge. And it is my favorite thing ever because you can open it up and pack it like a suitcase.
Yeah, it unzips weird and lays all the way down. It was very interesting.
And so those are some of my favorite things from them. And then the other company that I would really recommend is the Jesus Loves You company. I don't understand how they make a profit.
Yeah.
Because it seems like every other weekend they're doing $5 t-shirts or $10 hoodies or $15 limited edition high quality. Their stuff is the best. I've been rocking their t-shirts since freshman year.
I think they're high quality too. Those thin, they're nice.
They're not cheaply made. The graphics, I've worn them. This is my 4th year of wearing them, and the graphics have just now started to crack and wear. But they're screen printed, and so they're really, really nice quality. And I've always gotten compliments. Where'd you get that shirt? Oh, that shirt's really pretty. And so I absolutely love their clothes. And you can get so many t-shirts or sweatshirts for so, it's so affordable.
Well, and I know right now, I think the first year you asked for it around this time of year, and I found this huge Valentine's sale.
Yeah.
It was you buy 1 shirt, get 3 shirts free, and the shipping was $4.99 or something.
And the shirt itself is $20.
It was even less than that, I think.
And so they're just they're amazing. And I actually have... Yes.
Okay.
And so, yeah, definitely recommend. Over to you, Jen.
Okay. Jen? We're so tired. You guys are going to be
It's 10:30 at night, and
I have 2 of these to do, so.
I'm also high on coffee and about to crank out a criminal justice paper.
It's been a long week, y'all.
It's been a long week.
All right. So my first recommendation is a nighttime diffuser recipe. And for essential oils, I use Young Living, love Young Living. And they have a blend called One Heart. And it has just a conglomeration, but it's really beautiful. It's got citrus and ylang ylang, which if you've ever smelled that, it's very sweet. It's got your trees, Roman chamomile, etc. So it's just extremely calming. And then I mix this with, now this is one that I could lose some viewers here, some listeners, patchouli. I know some people can't stand it. I love it. It's a love or hate oil, but it is so good for calming and sleep. And so if you combine One Heart and patchouli, and your diffuser by your bedside, you will be out. And sleep has become very important to me these days, and I'm not getting a lot of it. So that is my recommendation. My second one are these fantastic slippers I've been getting probably for the last 5 years.
You've had them forever.
Oh, they're amazing. So they're by LL Bean, and they're called Wicked Good. They have this whole line called Wicked Good. They've got all the colors, all the different shapes, styles, whatever. They're made out of this beautiful suede. They're all hand stitched. And the interior is lamb fur, which regulates your foot temperature and wicks away, I should say, moisture. And they have a rubber sole, so there's great traction, and there's no synthetic materials that your foot is touching. They are amazing, and they are on sale right now for $89. Back to you, Vern.
Oh, I see. I am Vern now. Okay, so the next thing, category I have would go under, more Christian-y cool stuff.
Mhm.
So the first thing that I have is the Jesus Crate. This would be, a recommendation that you could get for Valentine's Day for your teens. And so it's run by this girl. She's in her senior year of high school, and it's a subscription box. So in that box, there comes with some highlighters, I've gotten plastic Jesuses, paper clips, just stuff to help encourage and foster a relationship with God.
Things you could use for your Bible or
And it also comes with its devotion, its own devotional that goes with the theme that they have for a month. And it's only $20 in total. I think it's $15 for the box and $5 for shipping, which is really, really decent for these subscription boxes. And you can tell that she's put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's really cute, and it's a small business. And then the second thing that I have is the Christian Heroes book series. So my mom started reading these to me. Oh, gravy. I had to have been 9 years old. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. And they have all these different missionaries that they write. Basically, they're autobiographies of. So Nate Saint was the pilot for Jim Elliot, or Elizabeth Saint was his sister, and it goes through all these different missionaries, and they're really quick and easy reads. I would say a 5th grader could probably read them decently on their own, but the stories are so well written.
Yeah, they're so interesting, not only just for the student, but even the adult. They were fascinating, not dumbed down. They're so rich with information, but very easy to understand, I think.
And not overly traumatizing.
Yeah. No, yeah, they shared a lot. It just all back on the Lord and all that he did for them. And but still very true to their story, a lot of the martyrs, things like that. So yeah. Okay, my turn. Okay, so my next category are things that lighten your load in life. The one that I just think is the coolest invention ever, and you guys probably know about this, but the drive-through oil change. So the closest one to our area is LOF, and it's in Ames, which is a college town about an hour from here. But when I'm driving through, I always make sure to stop. You need no appointment. It takes you literally 10 minutes to get your oil changed. You get to stay in your car, and they offer you a drink. It is lovely. So that has been a lifesaver lately. And the other thing is, and Avery is going to rub this in, I have rejected having a dishwasher for many years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, real quick, state your reason of why we aren't allowed to have a dishwasher.
Well, first of all, I just didn't want the chemicals on the dishes. And I figured we have people with working limbs that can wash the dishes. And I thought it was also good for kids to learn how to do those things. And our house was very small. And in order to have a dishwasher, I would have had to give up several of my cupboards. And you don't understand. I had 4. So now that we have a larger space, there was an organization that gifted us the funds for this. We found a really good sale. When was this? The summer, I think?
Yeah.
And anyway, it's the Bosch 800 series dishwasher. It has 3 racks. They are adjustable. It is so quiet. You can barely tell if it's running at all. You have to look to see if this little light is on to even tell if it's running. It is so effective at cleaning. It handles really tough stains without all the pre-rinsing. and it has an app. And so it will tell you when your dishwasher cycle is done, when it starts the heat cycle, etc. You can turn off notifications, but I really like to know when it's time to unload the dishwasher. So those are my recommendations for lightening your load.
Okay, so my next category is food because I'm out of season and now all I think about is food. So I'm a huge energy drink person, much to my mother's frustration, I think. But one of the ones that I had found that are relatively clean ingredients, they're not the cleanest, but they're also a lot better than like Pounding Three Monsters or something, are the Zoa energy drinks. They just got they got bought out by The Rock like 2 years ago, so my friends always tease me about it. They're like, isn't that the one that's owned by The Rock? And I'm like, yeah, but it tastes good, and that's all that matters. And on Amazon, they have an Amazon exclusive that tastes exactly like Sprite or Starry, and that one's just my favorite. It's the lemon lime flavor. And then the other thing I have is the Ninja Creamy. So my mom got this for the family. It's like a blender, but it also makes ice cream, and it is my favorite thing because I can pack 40 grams of protein into a pint of ice cream and just house that entire thing, and it just tastes so good. And it is just incredible.
And it's also a way to make a healthier ice cream, isn't it? Because you can use different things.
Because the other thing is, like, you can make homemade ice cream, and it doesn't have to be, like, the protein-packed light ice cream. It can be regular ice cream. And we did that with, like, we made regular ice cream in it, but primarily I use it for my protein ice creams, and they're good.
Yeah. Okay. So my next category are some apps that I've been using. One of them is called Seed Time, SEEDTIME, just all in a row. And you can also find it on a website, but I do have their app. And what you do, it's a garden planner. And all you do is you put in your zip code and it adjusts to your zone. Then it has drop-down bars where you can enter in, it has a search bar where you can enter in the type of vegetable or herb that you want to grow. And then it has a drop-down menu below it where you choose the exact variety. Who knew there was 5 different varieties of Napa cabbage? Not me. Then you tell it if you want to direct seed, if you want to direct plant it, direct sow, or if you want to transplant it. And then you tell it if you want it to be a spring or a fall crop or both. So you can succession plant throughout the summer. And it puts it all on the calendar for you, and it creates the daily task list for you. So it'll tell you when to plant it, how often it needs to be watered, when to harvest, when to succession plant. It'll tell you if something needs fertilizer and what day to do it. It makes a complete calendar, and this app is free. They do have where you can pay and get, more options, but it comes with plenty in the free version. So that's something I've been playing around with lately. I'm praying I can get a garden this year, but we're not 100% sure. So,
graduation and everything else. Good grief.
I know. That's what I'm not sure about. So I'm not going to push the envelope, but I would love to get my garden back this year. And then, excuse me, the second thing is something that we stumbled upon, and both my husband and I were interested in it for different reasons, but we actually never purchased it until we saw that they had, so it's called Master Class, and they had interior design classes on there. And so we bought it for our son's girlfriend who's going to college to be an interior designer. And so now we all share an account. So we have been able to, justify the expense because it was for a gift. And so it has classes. It's like you can pick college classes basically. And you're learning from the experts on interior design, cooking, financial education, gardening. You can even I looked on there tonight, there was one that you could learn how to play the cello. There's somebody who sits and teaches you how to play musical instruments. My husband has done the whole barbecue series, so he's learning all different kinds of things about how to barbecue meats. There's one on writing, and Avery, you're going to die. You remember the blue-haired guy named Ninja? The streamer, he has a whole master class that teaches you how to be a streamer. I recognized him with his blue hair. There's also sports. So I was kind of interested. I was kind of looking through tonight. There's one on from Wayne Gretzky. Do you know who he is?
Mm-hmm.
So for the listener, if you don't know, he was an Olympic a hockey player. And so he's actually teaching how to play hockey. And it's really, really cool. There, Simone Biles is on there. She has her own master class, Joanna Gaines, etc. So highly recommend if you love to learn.
Okay, that's me. That's me. My next category I have for like school related stuff. I'm a high school, college student I do a lot of schoolwork. And two of the things that I really like are, the first thing that I got kind of for a graduation present is I got a Surface Pro 11 laptop, and it has been one of my favorite things that I've ever had. I've had iPads before and tried the Apple Pen thing, and I just struggled so much trying to make an iPad work like a computer. But this computer has a touchscreen and more functions. Like, you have all the good parts of having a computer, and it's compact in size and has a touchscreen like an iPad. And it's just been one of the things that has worked so well for me. I can take handwritten notes, which is helpful for me because I'm really tactile, but I don't have papers everywhere that I'm losing or getting spilled on or forgetting, or 6 notebooks, or I never told you this. I had a pen freeze and explode in my backpack. So, like, those problems are mostly mitigated, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is zebra highlighters. I use them for my Bible reading. I use them for school, and they're really nice because they're dual tip highlighters. So one side is a thicker one, and the other side is more of a fine point marker. And they have really, really pretty colors, and you can just make your notes all aesthetic and pretty, and it just makes me so happy.
So Zebra is the brand name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are they the really pretty muted ones, like the greens and pinks?
Yeah.
Oh, those are the...
And so those are some of my favorite, like, school supplies things.
Nice.
Over to you, Alice.
Oh, my word. Okay. The next thing I have are some media related. So a new person that I have been following on Instagram, because I am obsessed this year. My goal is to do all the DIYs to save us money because I'm just tired of paying all these inflation prices. The Divine Soul Shine. So the Divine Soul Shine. She is amazing. She also sells essential oils. I believe she's a doTERRA person. But I just use her competitor. I sell Young Living, but I think they're both great companies. And I really love her site, and her and I have chatted a bit behind the scenes, and she's super sweet. I did let her know up front that I use all Young Living, but her DIY recipes do not disappoint. She's amazing. I don't know how she puts out the content she does, but she's amazing. So highly recommend her page. And then that's that 1870s homestead on YouTube. Sorry, Todd and Rachel are their names, and they do all things homesteading. They raise animals, but very, very small scale. They're grandparents. Their kids are in the military. I don't know. I just really love everything about their life. They love Jesus. They have a great marriage. They'll do what's for dinner, and they show how they grow everything. And then they try these little challenges, how to cook from their pantry. Their goals basically are to never go to the grocery store if they don't have to. And so it's been so fun following along. I've been following them since just a little bit before COVID, and they are still such a delight to watch and just really encouraging. So highly recommend them. Over to you, Sally.
Okay, so the next thing that I have are more tech-related finds. So, as I mentioned, I'm a student and on the go, and I constantly have things that are running out of battery. And the thing that I dislike most about conventional power banks is having to carry all the different cords. Because my headphones use a different cord than my cell phone that uses a different cord than my laptop. And I hate having to carry them all and then the one to charge the power bank. And so over Christmas, I got this really nice Soexno solar powered charging bank. And this thing is massive. Like, it is 1.5 inches thick, and it's probably 8 inches long and 4 inches wide. But it will charge everything, and the best part about it is the cords come pre-attached, and you just flip them out.
Oh yeah, it has all the options of it.
So it has USB-C, it has USB-A, and you just flip them all out, and then it also has areas that you can plug more cords in if you need to, but then you don't have to worry about carrying all the cords.
Cords are retractable, right?
They are on a hinge.
Oh, okay.
And so it's been really nice. It's super heavy duty, and it is one of my favorite power banks I've ever had.
Does it also have the magnetic feature where your phone sticks to it?
It does not have
Okay.
MagSafe.
Okay, I was always thinking I saw you walking around with it magnetic. So.
And then the other thing that I want to recommend is my Duro space heater. So my room is right above our garage, and as of right now, our garage is insulated, but it doesn't have like a mini split or anything. And so my room and my little sister's room are some of the coldest rooms in the house. And so I asked for a little space heater for my gotch day, and I got it. And the best part about the space heater is it has a remote. So at 4:30 in the morning, when you have to wake up because you have a wrestling meet and your room is freezing, you set your alarm 15 minutes beforehand, you turn on your space heater, and then you go back to bed and wake up to a nice toasty room.
And it sits on a thermostat?
Yes. This one does have a thermostat.
Okay. Now I'm on to the category of drinks. So you all know I love my kombucha. My favorite obsession right now is the Live brand, Live. And my favorite flavor is spicy cherry berry. So think of it as a Dr. Pepper pop replacement. So good. And because it's kombucha, it's a healthy gut and all the stuff. So I love it. My next one is a warm drink, and it's called Ticino. It's spelled Teecino, and it's an herbal coffee. So it's completely caffeine free, but because of the ingredients it has, it gives you like a natural kind of pep, but it doesn't keep you awake, if that makes sense. It's acid free, so it's easy on your stomach. It actually improves your gut health. It gives that natural energy boost I was telling you about. And it has heart-healthy potassium, antioxidants. They have most of everything they have is gluten-free. There's a couple flavors that are not. So if you need gluten-free, be real careful to read on their website. But they have French roast, which is what I'm sipping on right now. And it reminds me of the old-style diner coffee. It's so reminiscent for me. They have hazelnut, caramel. I drink that a lot in the fall. Vanilla nut, dark chocolate, almond amaretto, maple pecan, and then chocolate peppermint. And the chocolate peppermint I brew in the summer, and I add a little bit of chocolate mint that you can grow. I grow that, and I have a mint iced tea. So highly recommend.
Okay, so my next category I have is stuff that I use in my room. So the first thing that I'm going to recommend is I have this really nice bed frame, and it was only I think $200 on Amazon, and it folds up kind of like a Murphy bed, but it has underbed storage. And so I have a queen bed, and I was like, I'm wasting so much space. And so it flips up, and I have so much stuff stored under there. I probably have over 100 books stored underneath my bed. And extra bedding and out-of-season clothes, I store it all under there, and it's out of sight and not getting everywhere, but it's also you're not dealing with like a bed skirt and tubs that you have to like roll out and roll in. And
yeah, the edges look really nice. Like it looks like a finished bed, and then your mattress just pops up like on a hinge, right?
Yep. Okay. And so that is like one of my favorite things because I'm always trying to find ways to add more storage to my room. And then the other thing that I have is, and like I have a serious problem. I have 9 Target weighted plushes, and they are my favorite thing ever because you can use them as pillows, and they're the perfect size to travel places where you don't feel like you're hauling a huge pillow with you, but you also have something to lay your head on, and they're adorable.
You've never been a conventional pillow person. I can't wait to see till you're like a real adult in your own house with like a spouse. What will be on your bed for your head?
Oh, I use normal pillows, but there will also be something significantly fluffy.
Okay.
Well, how do you know that I'm not going to just use my spouse as my pillow?
There you go. Okay.
You got it, Jack?
Okay, yes. Okay, next category is the bog bag, which I'm sure all of you know about these. I am late to the party. I got one for Christmas. It is amazing. So they're large bag. If you don't know about them, they're rectangular in shape and they're firm, so they're not toppling over if the bag isn't full. It fits exactly between two bleachers. And so since I'm a wrestling mom, I am constantly hauling snacks and all the things. And so I love it because the edges stay straight up and they don't bend and topple over. And it fits right in between the bleachers, so it's not in anybody's way. And it's waterproof, so if we spill, I can just rinse it out. It's amazing. So I love that Christmas present. Highly recommend it if you're a sports mom. And then also for the winter vibes, I love the White Mountain puzzles, the 1,000-piece puzzles. There is something about the White Mountain brand. I don't know what is different about it. I like other
They're
puzzles
just, like,
too.
super duper high quality.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. If the pieces are a little larger, I haven't been able to figure it out. I should have Googled and looked up what makes it special or what their selling points are. But their puzzles are the best. Okay, Jimmy Bob.
Okay. The next thing I have are shoes because, a lady has to have shoes. But I am extremely practical when it comes to shoes. I think I have like 7 or 8 pairs of shoes total. And so for Christmas, I was looking into barefoot shoes. I came across this really cool brand. They're called Freet. And so they have Freet.
Okay, free.
So like feet, but with an R.
Okay.
And they have these really high quality handmade leather boots. And they have every style of barefoot leather shoe you could think of. They have hiking boots and like they have more of the, I don't even know, like muck boot style that are like stylish and cute and trendy. And I've worn them since I got them in December, and they keep my feet warm, they keep them dry. They're like fit really, really well, and they're incredibly well regulated.
Are they supposed to be better for your feet?
Yes.
Because they're flatter? Okay.
Yeah, because the problem that I have with shoes is because I walked around barefoot for like the entirety of my childhood, like in summer it was nearly impossible to get shoes on me.
Mm-hmm.
I never wore shoes.
Should they say is better for you?
Yeah.
So that's good.
But my feet are really, really, really wide, particularly like when I'm walking or doing anything active. And so I could probably fit lengthwise into a 5.5, but because my feet are so wide, I wear 7s. And so we got the 6 wide of the Freet boots and they were great. Awesome. And then the other thing that I have is the Caden Henschel XXV wrestling shoes. I have 2 pairs of them, and my favorite thing about these wrestling shoes is they have zippers. Mm-hmm. And so you will never get hit for a stall call because your shoelace is untied. And then on my practice shoes, I actually took the laces out, and so they're super easy to get on and off because all I have to do is unzip them, pop my feet in, zip them back up, I'm done. And so it just makes life so much easier.
And they held up a long time, that first pair.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've had 3 pairs. My Clash of Combat ones made it through an entire wrestling season, a postseason of like running on the treadmill with them because I just didn't have better running shoes at the time, and then all of my preseason practice were in those. So it probably went through so many hours of wrestling, and I just blew out the sides because that's what happens when you wrestle a lot.
Okay.
You got it next.
Got it. Okay. My next category is games. And we love to play cards around here. And 3 of our kids just had a gotcha day. And so our daughter loves games so much. And so we got her a couple new ones. We were introduced earlier by my son's girlfriend to the game Spot It. And I know this has been around forever. I just never was interested in it. I'd never played. Fell in love with this game, and I noticed that my daughter was really good at it. Like, I cannot beat her. She is so visual, and she is so good at seeing the different patterns and different things. There's lots of different ways you can play the game, but you're basically looking at a myriad of pictures on these little circle cards, and you have to find matches across several of these cards, and you have to do it quickly before your opponent, and she is so good. now I went looking on Amazon for Spot It. They have every theme you could imagine. So because she loves Disney, we got her Spot It Disney. And she also loves the Buffalo Bills football. And of course they had that. So I got her those, and we've been playing those as a family this week. And then Dutch Blitz. I have played this years ago, loved it. When Eric and I were engaged, we used to play a game called Nerds together all the time. It's very similar, but my son's girlfriend brought Dutch Blitz one weekend when she was here, and we got so addicted to it. And so we ordered it and the extension pack, and it is one of our favorites. Okay.
Okay. Now, if anybody knows me or has been around me for any period of time, they know I'm a major book nerd, like very bad. And so I'm recommending 2 book series. The first one is definitely more kid-oriented, and that's the Percy Jackson series. It's probably one that a lot of homeschool moms are familiar with, but it's a really great storyline. The first book series is really, really clean, really, like, generally good. Once you get into some of the later book series, definitely read the reviews first and figure out what your kids are able to handle. The sad thing is Rick Riordan is an amazing author, but you can tell when he got bought out by Disney, which kind of sucks. But the books are good in general, and they're really great storylines. And then the next thing I think, honestly, adults would be fine reading is the Penderwork book series. And I absolutely love that book series. It's about these 4 girls and their dad and all the little hijinks and problems, and you will eventually learn what this means, dancing with popsicle sticks, that they get into, and it is just absolutely hilarious. And that is just a book that's great for all ages.
Very sweet stories, for sure.
Okay. And the ball is in your court.
All right, so my next category is in the kitchen. And you guys, I made for the first time in my life a French roulade. Avery, were you here the night I made that? The little pinwheel thing?
I was there, but I was sick, and so I did not
Right. Okay. Well, a French roulade, if you don't know, you can do this with different meats, but the main one is getting a big pork loin. And so you're going to cut the pork loin in half and butterfly it. And then you're going to go to the half and butterfly that. And you're going to go to the other half and butterfly that. So you basically have gotten, it's like a book that unfolds twice. Then you're going to lay saran wrap over it, and you're going to pound it. And it's going to be really, really thin and huge. And all you do is you pick different fillings. So we did a French onion filling, and we did an Italian filling. Another one that I've heard a lot of people do is chicken cordon bleu. I mean, you could do anything. I've even seen dessert roulades. But you put the filling in, think of like making cinnamon rolls, and then you roll it up, and then you tie string, cooking twine, just like you would a cinnamon roll, like if you were going to cut the cinnamon rolls with your string, but you tie it every inch or so, and those become your slices that you'll do after you bake it in the oven. And you can make little sauces to go with it, and they're so beautiful, and it is so easy. It looks very intimidating, and it's so easy. If you have a nice sharp knife, it's no problem. And so my family really loved it. It was so fun that I was able to do that. I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. So that was kind of a fun thing. Then another thing that I tried, which I don't know if I did it right, but I really enjoyed it. So you take burgers. So you take your hamburger meat, divide it into however many patties you want to have. You put it between 2 pieces of parchment paper, and you can use a tortilla press, which is what I did, or you could just pound it. But you get it as thin as you can, and they're called smash burgers, but I mean, these are really thin. Like they almost have little holes in them. You could see it's so thin. I fried them on my griddle for 30 seconds on each side. They were so fun. So fun. If you don't want a thin burger and you want just a normal thickness burger, my go-to is 1 pound of beef and 1 pound of pork mixed. And then you add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of pepper. and they are the best burgers. You just make them into patties, put your little knuckle indentation in there so they cook well, and they are delicious.
Okay. My next two ones are also books. The Smash Burgers were good. But these are nonfiction books, so they're better.
Okay.
And so my first one is actually a book that I'm reading for my senior thesis, and it's written by Angela Lee, and she's an MMA fighter who is now doing so much stuff in the athletic world for athlete mental health. And that book is called United We Rise, and so her and her husband wrote it about just being high-level athletes and all the pressure that comes with it, and it's just a really neat story. And then the second book that I'm recommending is Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington. And so Booker T. Washington, he established like one of the first schools and the first like trade schools for African Americans. And so he taught them all these trades, like how to do like run a laundry service, metalwork, carpentry, build houses. And he was really a big proponent on like, don't sit on your hands and feel sorry for yourself. Start doing stuff. And so, really, really cool book. It's his, like, personally written autobiography. Really, really fun read.
Awesome.
Now, it is back over to you.
Okay. Well, I always like to throw a little pet something or other at you. Last time I showed my cat litter. And so we've heard that several people have tried that and are loving it. This time I'm going to tell you about our cat food and our dog food. So we're kind of extra around here. For cat food, we are using a brand called Smalls, Smalls. And the reason why I wanted to give our cats, not just the kibble kind of food. So I was using Blue. Is that what it's called, Avery? Blue Buffalo or something? It's supposed to be high quality, the best of the best. And they would not keep it down. I was constantly finding that they were obviously having an upset stomach. And so I ended up trying this Smalls with a coupon, and they are doing great. They love it. They cannot wait to be fed every time. Basically, it's like an ultra high protein food with no fillers. It's partially cooked. It comes to you in these little packets. They're pre-weighed with the calories that they're supposed to have. All you have to do is peel back the thing, plop it in their plate, and they love it. For our dog, we have been using for a lot of years a brand called The Farmer's Dog. And I was going to look up for you, some of its boasting properties, but I didn't. But it is just a really, really good dog food. We had a dog that had really bad arthritis, lots of inflammation, and was sick. We tried all the different foods, finally got this food, and after about 4 weeks of eating it, she was outside in the backyard running and playing, and it just seemed like it gave her years of her life back. So we would highly recommend.
Okay. Rolling back into my final category. Dun, dun, dun. So, I don't know if we've mentioned, I think we've mentioned a lot. I was a camp counselor at camp, and there are a million things that you need to pack when you bring to camp, but there were a few things that I think made my life a lot easier, and stuff that I'll also be, like, bringing into my dorm. And so one of them is packing cubes. I had a packing cube for all of my shorts, I had a packing cube for all of my t-shirts, and then I had a packing cube for, like, my pants and any extra longer warm clothing that I brought. And that way, it all stayed contained. I had a packing cube for all of my, like, undergarments too, and they weren't floating around all of my tubs and getting lost everywhere. And so, it was like a 2-layer defense so that I wasn't losing clothes. And the other thing that I cannot recommend enough as somebody who was not doing laundry in a house was get a laundry bag that has backpack straps. And because one of my friends had them, and it was the smartest thing ever, because instead of having to, like, haul your laundry bag over your shoulder with all of your, like, detergent and fabric softener and all that stuff, you just put it on like a backpack, and typically they have an extra pouch on the front for you to carry, like detergent sheets, fabric softener sheets, and it was just the coolest thing ever.
Is this your red one or your green one?
The green one I started carrying around like a backpack.
Oh,
I
okay.
might honestly get a actual one with backpack straps for college, just because it's not worth trying to screw around with like a cheap laundry bag, because then it rips, your laundry's all over the floor, and now you can't find your pairs of underwear. So get a good high quality laundry bag.
Interesting.
Over to you, Jen.
Last category. Mine is somewhat health related, I guess. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's called vibration therapy. And so I have this vibration plate by Life Pro, and I would highly recommend this brand because it both rotates and oscillates. It has 99 different vibration programs on it. Comes with a remote. You literally just stand on it. You click what program you want, and it jiggles your whole body. There's 3 different foot placements on the vibration pad. One of them is if you want your body to feel like it went for a walk. It tells you where to put your feet. If you go out a little further, it's a jog. If you go out a little further, it's an actual run. Each program lasts about 10 minutes, and you can make it longer if you'd like, or shorter, but the recommendation is 10 minutes. And basically, it's really, really good for circulation in your body. It's good for muscle toning. It's good for strength support, balance, and stability, especially as we are getting older. It helps with bone density, muscle recovery, lymphatic movement, detox support, and honestly, my favorite thing about it, it's a low impact exercise option. So it does to your body what it would do if you actually went for a run. And because my body seems to think that when I exercise that I'm wounding myself, and so it wants to protect all the organs with fluid, and puffiness. So I have to do low impact. And so I love it. So 10 minutes a day is great. Another little plug for this is some of my family members were going in for a thermography, and they, it's kind of like an ultrasound, but it's like heat sensitive. And if there's any red spots on your body, that's an area where there might be like less lymphatic drainage, things like that. And so my family members started using vibration therapy, and they went back in 6 months, and there was no red on their scans. And the lady was like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. This is amazing. So there's a lot of studies. You can even chat GPT vibration therapy, and it will tell you there's a decent amount of research to support all of their claims, which is awesome. And then the last thing is red light therapy. So for Christmas, I got a red light therapy mask, much to my family's joy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks I look like I'm from outer space. But it's really cool. You just put this mask on your face. They've also got little boxes, loom boxes that you can just hold on different body parts that may be hurting. But it's really good for skin health and anti-aging, pain relief. Inflammation is my biggest use, muscle recovery, wound healing, which is so interesting, and tissue repair. I also read it's really good for hair growth if people need that. It's good for mood and energy, and then your circulation. So it kind of goes hand in hand with vibration therapy. Those are things I've been using vibration therapy for years, but then now red light therapy, and it's been really wonderful. So these have been our recommendations for the month of February. So I hope you guys like it as well as our last one. And what?
Now on to a new edition.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
In addition to our recommendations, we are going to add one thing that we do not recommend. Would you like to go first?
No, you go.
Okay, this is a tirade, and I apologize in advance. My college uses Canvas. If you don't know, Canvas is a online classroom management system. So, all of our assignments are through Canvas, all of our tests are through Canvas, all of our quizzes are through Canvas. All of the only way that we typically can contact our professors are through this singular system. And the problems that I have had with this system and using it for a year and a half have been the worst things ever. Canvas went down during midterms.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing I had taken them earlier. Canvas lost my assignments. Canvas kicked me out in the middle of tests. To the point where I was during one of my midterms that it kicked me out, and I got a third of the points that I should have gotten. Mm-hmm. And now, because my professor was having trouble with Canvas, I get to do an entire unit's worth of homework in 3 days. What does an entire unit's worth of homework include? Well, let me read this for you. A 2-page long paper on the pretrial proceedings, over 1,000-word paper on grand jury proceedings, 12 quizzes, 3 crime data statistic assignments, and 2 discussion posts. Sorry. May I mention 12 quizzes? So, if you are going to a college that is using Canvas, either run or prepare yourself that you're going to have a lot of frustration. And unfortunately, the college that I'm transferring to uses Canvas.
Bummer.
All right, what is the one thing that you do not recommend?
Okay, I had forgotten about this until Avery reminded me earlier. I tried, so gluten-free people, they will relate. You got to try different flours because there's just not one flour fits all kind of situation. I have no idea. What were we even making?
Scones.
Okay, so I heard about this flour called tiger nut flour. Wasn't it like salty or something?
So, yeah.
It was so bad.
This was the one and only time that I tried making scones on my own, and I was so excited because I was like 10, and I was so excited to bake. And so Mom's like, try this new flour. So we tried it. And it was, I don't even know why, but it tasted like we were biting on a mix of a salt brick and a baking soda brick.
Yes, I was going to say, you know how baking soda is like salty, bitter? That's what it reminded me of.
It was so bad, and they were like the most crumbly, mushy things ever.
And it was so expensive, and I remember we just threw the whole bag in the garbage.
And I'm pretty sure I cried.
It was bad. Okay, so don't use Canvas for your college assignments, and do not purchase tiger nut flour. Or if you found a good usage for it, let us know in the comments because I can't imagine there is one.
Also, something that I forgot to mention earlier in the episode is that for Whole Strength, I'm actually a ambassador and affiliate. Yeah. So if you end up wanting to buy Whole Strength clothing, use code homemade10 for 10% off.
Nice. Because Avery also has an Instagram page called Homemade Athlete. So you could follow along with her journey of wrestling. And it's very encouraging. She shares devotions, encouragement, mental health, exercises, all kinds of things. Yeah. And then she shares her clothing. So, okay, y'all, we have one more podcast to record. And Avery has, as she said, 12 quizzes. So we are going to end this one and we'll be back shortly.
It's also currently 11:40. But thank you for listening to our recommendations.
Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.